Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome to our hockey talk. Today I want to talk about the Chicago Blackhawks, you might have guessed it. A team that is in a rebuild. They got Connor Bedard in the draft in 2023 as the first overall pick. They were lucky to get him, yeah, definitely. But their rebuild would have progressed anyway, whether they would have got Bedard or Fantilli or Leo Carlson, who are both also very good players on their respective teams. But how are the Blackhawks doing right now in their rebuild? I will present you some stats and some thoughts, and yeah, let's get it on. The Chicago Blackhawks and their rebuild in the 2023-2024 season. Yeah, the Blackhawks. Right now, yesterday, they beat the Islanders 4-3 in overtime. The game was good. Nothing bad to say about that. And they did it without Connor Bedard. Bedard is right now on IR with a broken jaw. And he's not the only one on IR. There are a lot of Chicago players right now who are hurt. But altogether, the Blackhawks have 46 games played. Their record right now is 14, 30 and 2. So they have 30 points and a .326 points percentage. Yeah, this is a rebuilding team. What do you expect? You expect them to be right now at 60 points and above in the playoff race? No way. It was absolutely clear, and Carl Davidson made it absolutely clear that this is not the year the Blackhawks will go for the playoffs. This is like a familiarization season for Connor Bedard. And he brought in some veterans. We will talk about them as well to bring him along. This didn't work as planned, but let's get to it. First of all, the Blackhawks, their power play at 12.6%. That's bad. Tied last in the league with the Philadelphia Flyers. Penalty kill, 76.4%, which is 26th in the NHL. And, for example, it's better than the penalty kill of the Winnipeg Jets at 76.2%. And the Jets are first in the Central Division. Just a side effect. The Blackhawks have 102 goals scored, that's 2.22 per game. They allowed 164, 3.57 goals per game. Yeah, this is a rebuilding team, not a recipe for success if you allow more goals than you score, of course. Who am I telling that to? But this is not as bad as most people expected from the Blackhawks this season. Into the details with their players. Connor Bedard, who is 18. 39 games played, as mentioned, he is now out with a broken jaw. It will take him at least 4 more weeks. 15 goals, 18 assists, 33 points. Interesting, of his 15 goals, 14 are even strength. This is a sign maybe of the bad power play of the Blackhawks, but also of Bedard's quality of scoring 5-on-5. But he is also minus 22 in these 39 games, which is, But this was expected. Bedard now playing in the NHL with 18. That his plus-minus numbers will not be that good because the defensive game is way different than in juniors where he played last season. Second best scorer in the team, Jason Dickinson. He is 28. 46 games played, 15 goals, 9 assists, 24 points. He also has 14 even strength goals, same as Bedard. Same number of goals scored, same number of even strength goals. Quality of Dickinson 5-on-5 and the lack of the Blackhawks power play, both. But Dickinson is a plus 10. He is a plus 10 on the Chicago Blackhawks this year. A team that has allowed 62 more goals than they scored, and Dickinson is a plus 10. This is incredible. And I think now you know why they extended him for 2 more years, $4.5 million per year. This was a good call if he keeps up playing like this. Fantastic. Third best scorer, Philipp Kurashev, 24. 39 games played, 8 goals, 15 assists, 23 points. He is also a minus 22. And with 24, Kurashev should be a little further up in the defensive game. But it's the Blackhawks. Still, he has potential. I think on a contending team, he would be in danger of falling from a prospect to a project. But we will see. And of course, what is the most significant this year, the goaltending. This team allowed 3.57 goals per game, which is bad. Peter Mrazek, who is their starting goaltender, after traveling around the NHL for quite some time. Toronto didn't work. Now he's in Chicago. It was basically a cap dump from the Leafs. But Mrazek accepted the situation and he plays really good this year. 31 starts, 3.04 goals against compared to the 3.57 the team has. 906 save percentage. 853 saves made this season. And he's a UFA at the end of the season. Let's talk about trade bait soon. But the other guys who are there right now, completing the roster most likely, Ryan Donato, 27, he's a journeyman. Tyler Johnson, who is right now on the IR, he won Stanley Cups with the Tampa Bay Lightning, rounding out his career, and with the amount of injuries he has, let's see. Seth Jones, who is their biggest money contract at $9.5 million for quite some time. Yeah, he is supposed to be the cornerstone of the franchise. Let's see if he really is. Connor Murphy at 30, he has also some years left on his contract at, what was it, $4.5 million. Defenseman. Nikita Zaitsev, 32, who is right now on the injured reserve list as well. These guys are basically, yeah, they're there that the Blackhawks have some players. They also have a lot of players on the IR. Let me check for a second. Yeah, their IR is not only Tyler Johnson and Nikita Zaitsev, it's also Taylor Hall, Andreas Athanasiou, Anthony Beauvillier, Nick Foligno, and of course Connor Bedard. This is a lot of players and a lot of money right now on IR. So the Blackhawks, cap space wise, no problem at all. But yeah, they're a rebuilding team. Of course, they should not have any problems with cap space. They brought in a lot of young players this year to compensate for all these injuries. Not only Vlasic, who's 22, Lukas Reichel at 21, Korchinski at 19, Entwistle, who's 24, Phillips, who is 22, Kaiser, 21, Crevier at 22, and the goaltender Arvid Söderblom, who is now 24. These guys, they are the future of the Blackhawks. They could, of course, strengthen their roster and build up draft picks by trading some of their veterans, like Donato, who should have a market, Johnson on IR, Zaitsev on IR, maybe not. Seth Jones, yeah, we will not get anything for him because of his contract. But Murphy, maybe. Mrazek, definitely. Just imagine. Peter Mrazek, who has a 906 save percentage on the Chicago Blackhawks, with a defensive core that contains mostly the guys in black down there. Because Vlasic is a defenseman, Kaiser, Crevier, Korchinski. They are all defensemen. And they are all so young, they are all learning the game. And plus minus wise, have a look at Connor Bedard, minus 22. And still, Peter Mrazek, 906 save percentage. What do you do if you're Carl Davidson, if a team comes calling like Edmonton, Tampa Bay, maybe Florida, one of the contending teams that could see Mrazek as an upgrade over their backup? Yeah, you will most likely not get a first round pick from Mrazek, but a second round pick and a prospect. Yeah, that's definitely possible. And the 2024 NHL entry draft is not that far away. The Blackhawks right now, the second worst team on the NHL, with their 30 points, only ahead of the San Jose Sharks. So it is possible the Blackhawks will get the first overall pick once again. Right now, I think their chances of drafting, they are guaranteed. Right now, guaranteed to draft in the top 4. And they will get a good player. Give them some time to bring along the young guys in black down there. Some time to bring along Bedard and whoever they pick in this year's draft. And if the Blackhawks do all this with patience, give these guys time to develop, I think they will have a lot of fun and a pretty good roster when this rebuild is done. I might not see them in the playoffs in 2025, most likely not in 2026, but 2027 we can talk about the Blackhawks back in the playoffs. And then, with Bedard in his prime, with all these guys in their prime, with the right signings, with the right amount of veterans, which they tried to bring in for this year, but it didn't work because they are all on IR. Foligno, Hall. I will not talk about the Corey Perry story because this is something completely different. But yeah, right now, the young guys are basically on their own. and they're doing pretty good. Let's hope the Blackhawks do not end like the Ottawa Senators ended this year. Let's see what happens with them last year. But I talked about this in another video. The Blackhawks have a good chance to come out of this rebuild successfully and maybe compete again for the Stanley Cup in 2028, 2029. Remains to be seen. Okay, that was my take on the Chicago Blackhawks and their rebuild. Let me know your thoughts about the Blackhawks in the comment section below, and let's see which team we will talk about next. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and see you soon here on the channel. Until then, have a good time. Goodbye.